Within Archive Shuttle, we can handle failures in different ways. Let's take a look at some of the options that you should know. When an item is not successfully exported or imported, the item is marked as retryable. Around 1 hour later, those items are then eligible to be retried. We took the stance that the item might have failed for some kind of temporary reason. So more or less, an hour later, the item will be retried again. If the item errors again, it is again queued for retry. This process can repeat up to 10 times. After 10 retries, the item is considered as permanently failed. Let's take a look at how this is displayed in the Archive Shuttle user interface. Here on the Stage 1 page, we can see some mappings that have a number of items that are marked with retriable errors. They have a different background color to help make them easy to spot. You can also see that some mappings have permanent failures. For either of these, we can right-click on a mapping and view the failed items. On the failed item screen, we can review the error. We can retry items right now, or at least queue them for retry as the module has available capacity to do so. We can also mark items as permanently failed if we need to. This stops them being processed 10 times. Now this is all good, except the mapping won't be able to go through Stage 2 without some sort of failure management, so let's see how we can set that. In Archive Shuttle, we've got the ability to indicate how many failed items are considered OK. This is called the failed item threshold and can be set on an individual mapping if required. The value can be set as we see here on the screen. We set the value to 1 more than the number of failed items. Take into account the number of export failures as well as import failures. We can also set the failed item threshold on a link. This way, all of the mappings default to that allowable value. We can see that here on this link. And that translates to what we see here on the Stage 1 screen, with the mapping showing the failed item threshold. It's worth remembering that for Archive Shuttle, there is no difference in the number of failed items on export or import. They're treated the same when it comes to threshold. A threshold of 10 means a total of 10 items. The final thing to mention is that Archive Shuttle includes the ability to move failed items from the staging area to somewhere slightly more permanent. We have a knowledge base article on how to do that, which I've included in the notes for this section.